Well, this is a video I never thought I'd have to make, but this has been weighing on me for a while, and if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. This isn't scripted, by the way. I just couldn't be bothered to actually write up a script for this whole thing. So, COPPA, the Children's Online Protection Privacy Act. Why is that a thing again, huh? Well, it turns out that last year, after that whole scandal with the Paul brothers, YouTube was pushing for more kid-friendly content, and was data mining for it all. And it turns out they got a hold of kids' info, which is a big no-no. When the Federal Trade Commission found out, they fined YouTube shitload. And rather than just take the L, Susan What's-Her-Face just went ahead and said, "Oh, well, it's the content creators' fault. They did this whole thing." And now YouTube is in big trouble. See if anything remotely looks like it's aimed towards kids, you have to label it as such, regardless if your content is aimed at kids or not. The problem there is you will have your comment section turned off, the video won't show up in recommended, your subscribers won't get notifications for when you post the video, and it will be unsearchable. People will have to go directly to your channel to see it. You probably also won't get ad revenue from it, if I'm understanding correctly. And that's a problem because a lot of big channels here do rely on that ad revenue. Here, let me just pull up the, let me pull up part of the article that clarifies, quote-unquote, what content for kids is. Subject material that is appealing to kids. Kids jokes, music, kids games, video games, computer games, children's TV shows or stars. So I'm sorry, Sesame Street, you're going away. Cartoon characters, sports. So I guess only kids like sports now. Stories, toys, children books, fantasy, arts and crafts, and any product that could appeal to children like snack foods. Oh, there's also a little thing about presentation here. Language of the web that is simply enough to be understandable by any child under the age of 12. This is words like cool, fun, whatever, duh, games, and ask your parents. So I guess if kids want to do any arts and crafts, they shouldn't ask their parents anymore for help. The presentation here also includes animated characters in bright, vibrant colors. So I guess I can't use J. Foxwell anymore if this law passes. Oh yeah, this is a law, by the way, and it will presumably be enforced next year. You see the problem here, right? Everything I talked about is just so vague. It covers a wide array of content on this website. Not even YouTube, the internet in general. And it appropriately has a lot of content creators scared out of their wits and worried about their channels. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, you could always just click the Not for Kids button in the YouTube editor or something. And yeah, you can do that. You have the option to do that. Except when and if this gets enforced, and the FTC or YouTube or the YouTube bots or whatever are gonna check all this out, decide that your content is aimed at kids, you will be fined $42 million. Yeah, I'm not joking. So this is a no-win situation, as you can see. FTC, I have to genuinely ask, do you think everyone is Trump level of rich? What YouTuber do you know that could pay that fine? A friend of mine also said, well, they can't go through everyone's videos. And they were right. The FTC and YouTube don't have nearly enough people, time, or funding to do all that. In fact, according to Monkey Common's video, COPPA isn't very well funded. Common, if you end up watching this video and I got that wrong, you can correct me either in the comments or on Discord. But here's the thing. YouTube has bots. And as we all know, machines never make mistakes. Now, I'm not going to bullshit you and say I'm not worried about my channel, because I am. I'm scared that when this happens, or if it happens, that if I do not press the For Kids button, I will have to pay a crazy amount of cash that I don't have. In fact, I don't know if anyone has that amount of cash on them on YouTube. But my other concerns for pretty much everyone else on YouTube. The Let's Players, the reviewers, the commentators who pretty much use cartoon avatars, the Storytime animators, and a whole bunch of other people. The problem with what I read earlier is that it is all way too vague or broad, depending on how you look at it. Let's look at a channel like Prince Vegeta. The reactor with the Vegeta avatar says, "Well, hello everyone. It's your Prince of all the motherfucking Saiyans." At the start of every video he does. Yeah, the FTC boss will probably just see Vegeta in the thumbnail and think, "Oh, this is for kids," and pretty much label all of his videos as for kids. Boom. Half his revenue gone. Despite the fact that this dude swears like the sailor got fucked up the ass by your drunken uncle. Speaking of drunken uncles, drunken uncle, bearing and deranging monkey from the anti-SJW community all use cartoon avatars. But they don't talk about things that kids will understand. They cover politics and flawed social logic. But hey, they have cartoon avatars, so clearly their videos are meant for kids. Last year I talked about Aiken, an anime that clearly isn't for children. But because I have a cartoon fox in the thumbnail set against another cartoon, clearly for kids, this is the same outdated mindset the BBC had in regards to Doki Doki Literature Club last year. Because there are so many videos that kids will find appealing, I can think of very few channels and videos that aren't in danger. Well, you can always go somewhere else other than YouTube. Yeah, that's what a lot of other people think too. Except Loxton from Noggin and Manga Common have both said that this is an internet in general thing, not just a YouTube thing. YouTube is just the biggest video posting platform right now, and they knowingly, intentionally broke the law for probably 2 years. Side note, Susan what's your face? I hope the knowledge that you intentionally, knowingly broke the law follows you for the rest of your life. I want every employee you will potentially have to know that you were okay with doing this, with getting personal information of kids, just so you can suck up to mainstream media senpai. You are the literal embodiment of lip service, and smile and wave if I've ever seen it. Go screw yourself for never stopping to think, maybe we shouldn't be data mining on kids, and throwing every content creator on YouTube under the bus just because you didn't want to take the L. And if this goes through, and no one is left on YouTube other than the Paul brothers and Onision, I hope they bring you nothing but scandal and shame. Here, let me just read this tweet from YouTube creators. Creator success is at the heart of Susan Fuck Your Last Name's last creator day of 2019. In it, she discusses the self-certification pilots, monetize outside ad revenue, and creator well-being. Susie. Honey, sweetheart, I don't buy for a minute that you care about the content creators on YouTube. Otherwise, the FTC wouldn't be going after us. Again, go screw yourself. You've done nothing but make YouTube worse and worse since you started as the CEO of YouTube. I don't care what a certain big-chin YouTuber wanted to convince everyone. YouTube will never be great again with you at the helm. I got a bit heated there. So now let me tell you about how we can possibly prevent all of this from happening. The key word being possibly. In the description you will see 2 links. One is to sign a petition that will possibly save YouTube. The other is a format which you can directly talk to the FTC to tell them why they shouldn't do this. In regards to the FTC thing, please try to be as civil and articulate as you can. I'll also be linking Loxton's video where he talks about the way you should address these people. I'm not saying that either will do anything, but I've been going from day to day now, hoping that someone at the FTC will look at all this and decide not to punish the content creators on YouTube. I would normally still be in bed this hour, but all this has been weighing on me ever since it started. I literally cannot go onto YouTube anymore without seeing 1 or 2 videos talking about the FTC and COPPA. It all just makes me wish that this whole backlash against Pokemon Sword and Shield was the biggest hubbub we'd have towards the end of the year, and that is pretty depressing. I've even been seeing this little thing called Dead Upload Day, which is a protest against the FTC and COPPA that is going to take place 3 days from now. Guys, do you really think that's going to do anything? The people participating in this are free to do whatever they want, but I doubt the people outside this protest will. Oh yeah, because I kind of forgot to bring this up. The final day that the FTC will decide what to do is on the 9th of next month. So if you haven't made your voice heard yet, I strongly urge you to do so now. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do if this passes. I'm hoping it won't, but if it does, I have zero clue what I'm going to do. The bulk of videos on my channel are commentaries, and those are made more for a general audience. I had wanted to do reviews and other type of videos later on, but that's looking to be a pipe dream right about now. If this passes and I am forced to label stuff as for kids, this will probably become a dead channel. And on that note, if the content creators that this all affects begin to leave the platform, it will negatively affect YouTube as well. So yeah, YouTube, you shot yourself in the foot just to spite other people. Continue to walk around with blood flowing out of your foot and pretend like nothing's wrong. We all know that you're real good at pretending your content creators don't exist. I've seen 1 or 2 videos talking about how flawed COPPA is and why it won't pass. Hopefully that will hold true. I'll link them in the description below. Before I end this off, I want to repeat what I said earlier about getting in contact with FTC. Let them know how many people that they would be hurting by doing this. If this is really the end, I thank those of you who have subbed my channel. This is Night saying thanks for listening, and please share your thoughts with me.